Hey screenwriters. So I actually got a pretty big response from my last video about pandemic screenwriting, and I thought I'd just continue the conversation into this video. A lot of you actually reached out to me on Twitter and on Instagram, telling me about your experiences, telling me about your fears about what's been going on and how it's affecting your screenwriting. So I figured instead of doing a book review, we just keep talking about what's happening in the world, how you can sort of get through this as a screenwriter, and some of the, I actually think, the unique challenges that screenwriters are having right now when trying to balance their own sanity and their own creative energy at the same time. Normally when I'm doing these videos, I have at least some prepared notes I'm working off of. I don't have one for this video. I'm literally just speaking as ideas come to me. So this video is about coping strategies. This video is about what I've done over the last couple weeks that have helped me out, have helped keep my sanity in all this, and to see if some of these little techniques and some of these tricks that I've been doing over the last little while will work for you. So the first thing that I did is I went on a massive purge, and I actually think this is important for us as filmmakers to do, because I don't know a single filmmaker that doesn't have at least 2 or 3 pieces of gear that they never use but they still keep. Well, now's a great time to donate those things. If you're hurting on cash and you want to sell them on Kijiji, on eBay, on Facebook, go right ahead. But there's other filmmakers right now that are hurting that actually may need that gear. So if you have a microphone that you don't use, if you have a tripod that you don't use, if you have a light stand that's sitting around that's just collecting dust, think about giving it to someone who needs it. You know, I just cleaned out my closet and donated a bunch of clothes that I don't wear. Some of them literally still had the tags on it. And I felt 1,000 pounds lighter. I felt happier. I felt more grateful about where I am in life and the life that I have right now, even as stressed as it is. And if you have the means to do it, I suggest you do it. Go on a spring clean. Donate things that you're not using. If you have film equipment, if you have studio equipment, lighting equipment, sound equipment, donate that to a filmmaker who does need it. Donate it to a student that may be needing it. It'll make you feel 1,000 times better, and it'll declutter your life, and it will help pay that gratitude forward to the next generation of filmmakers, to someone else who may be really hurting, who may be in a worse spot than you are. But declutter, it has really helped me get through the last couple of weeks. It's helped me stay positive. It's helped me stay connected. And at the end of the day, I have a cleaner apartment as a result. So I was actually going to do a video called What Happens When Your Hobby Becomes Work. Because what I found in screenwriting has been, at first it was just a hobby. It was something I used to do on the side, just to do it to relax. It was fun, it was exciting, it was different, it was new. And then when I started to take my screenwriting seriously, when I moved from it becoming a hobby to becoming work, a lot of my life actually changed, because suddenly the thing that I used to do in my free time to enjoy myself suddenly became something grueling. It suddenly became part of my routine. It became something that I had to devote time to, I had to devote effort to. It actually started to stress me out. And I realized that I needed to find a different hobby. I needed to find some other outlet for my stress and for my, just to turn off my brain at the end of the day. And I think now is actually a great time, now that everyone's locked down, to find something other than screenwriting to draw pleasure from in life, because you need something else to turn your brain off at the end of the day. Now, I mentioned in my previous video that my new hobby is photography. It's the one thing that's actually really helped me get through the stress of screenwriting. And it actually started off by accident. What I found was that I was spending all my days in front of my computer stressing about writer's block, trying to get past that other scene, trying to figure out a new idea. So I had this camera lying around that I actually bought to do video. And I said, you know what? Let me just start taking some photos. It'll give me an excuse to get off my chair, walk around, get some fresh air. And it's actually really helped me not just alleviate some stress from screenwriting, but to actually help me turn my brain off. So if you have the ability, and you can even use your cell phone to take up photography as a hobby, I actually really suggest it. It's been a lifesaver for me. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can see some of my photos at YGAD6. I'll have the link below this video. But again, you need to find a hobby. You need to find something else other than stressing out about screenwriting. And for me, photography was definitely that thing. Since you're stuck at home, I think one of the best things you can do is also discover what made you fall in love with screenwriting, what made you fall in love with filmmaking. And the way I do that is I go back and I rewatch the movies that I absolutely love, and then I think about them and I ask myself, what is it about that movie that drew me in? Was it the theme? Was it the plot? Was it the style of writing? Was it the style of directing? What was that magic thing about that movie that made me fall in love with it? And it's the perfect time to do that right now because it'll relieve some stress. You get to watch movies that you already love. You don't have to watch new movies or study new movies. Just go back and watch the movies that you know you enjoy, no matter what they are. For me, like my go-to movies are Heat by Michael Mann, The Thing by John Carpenter, JFK by Oliver Stone, Miller's Crossing by the Coen brothers. Those are the movies that I go back to again and again when I'm trying to remind myself why I love making movies and why I love screenwriting. And it's a great time to look at those movies, your favorite movies, and ask yourself, what was it about this movie that inspired me to get into filmmaking? Because you may actually surprise yourself. I actually found that it's usually something to do with the central conflict that I gravitate towards. It's usually a hero up against impossible odds. It's usually a bit of a morality play. There's something about right and wrong that's going on in that movie that speaks volumes to me. And when I discovered that, it's really impacted in terms of the kinds of stories that I'm now writing, because I've realized that those are the things that actually inspire me the most. So a lot of the stuff that I'm working on right now has been a direct result of me going back and looking at the movies that I absolutely love and figuring out what was it about them that I love, what were the themes, what were the ideas, what was the style of storytelling that was really compelling to me, and applying it to the stuff that I'm working on right now. So if you have a few hours, absolutely go back and watch movies that you already love. Don't worry about watching new movies. Don't feel pressure to keep up with what's going on in Hollywood right now. Go back to the well, find the movies that you know you just absolutely adore, you know you get inspired from, that get you excited, and focus on those. And then ask yourself, what was it about that movie that I really enjoyed? What was it about that television show that kept me watching episode after episode after episode? Write those things down and then put them away. The next time you're trying to come up with an idea for a movie, the next time you're trying to come up with an idea for a TV show, bring that list out and then use it as inspiration. And last but not least, I'd be remiss if I did not suggest that you start up your own YouTube channel. Now's the perfect time to do so. Now, I have sort of a crazy setup here because I've cobbled together different pieces of technology that I've had lying around the place from my photography days, from my filmmaking days. But you don't need all this. You literally can do everything you need to do with your cell phone. Some of the most watched YouTube channels just do it on their iPhone, just do it on their Android devices. So don't let the setup fool you. You can do a really great job with a YouTube video with very, very minimal gear. YouTube is just a great way to connect to other people. I've met some wonderful people just by being on YouTube. I've met some people that I've really admired just by being on YouTube. Now's the time to do it. Set up your phone, hit record, and talk about screenwriting. Talk about your hobbies, talk about your passions. Show us cat videos, whatever it is. Stay in that creative zone by just creating. I think YouTube is a phenomenal way of doing that. TikTok is another great way of doing it. Instagram Live as well. In fact, I urge you all to follow me on Instagram because myself and a director friend of mine are going to start doing these Instagram Live videos where we talk about filmmaking and screenwriting. So again, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, hit record, start talking into the camera, and just be creative. I think it's, honest to God, one of the best things I've ever done was start a YouTube channel because it's helped me connect with so many people. It's helped me unpack a lot of things. I've actually found that doing these YouTube videos has been great for me because as I talk to you guys, I'm actually working my way through some of the things that I've struggled with over the last little while. So this has actually been very therapeutic for me. So start a YouTube channel. I highly recommend it. I think you're gonna have a ton of fun doing it. As you can see, I'm trying something new this week. I am putting the microphone in the shot. To be honest with you, this week I've had nothing but free time, so I've changed the setup of my studio a bit. And one of the big things is I've tried putting the microphone in the shot because I have a beautiful microphone and I wanted to use it. So let me know what you think. If you think it's made a difference, if you like this, if you think it's too pretentious, drop me a comment below and let me know if you like this new little setup I've done. So that's it. That's my second video on pandemic screenwriting. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, drop them in the box below. Happy writing.